Spent the whole day in my head. Do a little spring cleaning. I'm always too busy dreaming. Well, maybe I should wake up instead. A lot of things I regret, but I just say I forget. Why can't it just be easy? Why does everybody need me to stay? Oh, I hate the feeling when you're high, but you're underneath the ceiling.
All right, so let's do a quick little intro.
You want me to bring us in?
Bring us in, dude.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Taco Tuesday. Please buy. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome to Knowledge, Nonsense, and Reasoning, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome. But it really is Taco Tuesday at Tiago's Tacos.
Today-
just in case you didn't know.
Today, yeah, shout out to Tiago's Tacos. Today, we are joined with our good friend, Micheal Torres. Say what's up, Michael.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, Michael? Thank you for coming on the show, by the way. We know that you reached out to us after the mental health episode. And we think that you have an interesting story. So thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
I kind of came across
Absolutely.
you guys on one of your interviews with Kevin Connors,
Nice.
and
Shout out to Kevin.
Good
Connors.
friend of
shout
ours,
out to
bro.
Kevin Connors. I went to school with him, and then we ended up dropping
Oh.
out together. He went to do his thing, I went to do my thing, and that's all she wrote. So
I'm sorry. Did you
yeah.
say you guys ended up dropping out together?
We basically dropped out together, I think, and he went to do his music thing, and I went to do my I don't know what thing, but I'm doing something else.
I don't know what thing.
That's hilarious,
I
bro.
don't know
Yeah,
what
he's good. That's awesome, bro. He's a good friend of ours. That's great. That's crazy. That what a small world that you know him or you actually went to school with him. You guys did your thing. So you said you dropped out. You didn't know exactly what you did. So what are you doing now?
Right now, that is a trending question that everyone wants to know what they're doing. I don't know what I'm doing, man. I have a schedule, right? So I follow my schedule. My life changes as the years go by. Everybody wants to do something different. I am currently I've been in the restaurant industry for about 10 years, right? That's how I make my money, so that I can be able to finance or pay for all the goals that I have. So I live two lives. My one life is working to make an income, and the income that I receive, I use it to invest it into other endeavors that I'm into. I like doing. I'm all over the place. I'm in boxing, right? So I'm tied with a gym, KO Boxing, and I coach amateurs, pros. So I do that, and I just recently got into videography, which is the reason why shameless plug. When I wanted to do a deep dive like you guys do, right? And I came home tired as hell from work last Friday, and I said, let me go see some of these guys on interviews, and I came across the interview with you and OK Melanie. And bro, this was me. Where is it? Have you ever seen this meme? Oh,
Oh my God,
That's
no,
hilarious.
that was me, bro. I was cracking up the whole way. I stayed up till like 5, 6 in the morning watching you guys, and I couldn't stop laughing. I would press pause sometimes, and I'll chime in. I'll chime in on the conversation like if I was with you guys. It was hilarious.
Oh my God. Well,
So-
bro, we're happy that you enjoyed it so
That's
much.
so you know Melanie as well.
I don't know her, but I would love to get to know her, man. She seems
great.
like someone who can help me out. So I even went when I saw the interview, I was so inspired that by you guys and by Melanie that I went on Tuesday and I said, let me tattoo person, I want Melanie here, and I tatted her on my arm.
Oh shit.
No, I didn't. I'm just kidding.
I was about to
I'm
say,
just
I'm like,
kidding.
whoa.
I'm like,
No,
hey guys, if we didn't have viewers before, we better have
We
viewers
better
now.
have fucking-
Somebody wants this.
Which, by the way, that's something that someone with bipolar disorder would do impulsively. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, man, I was very inspired by that video, and I learned a lot in that 1 hour and 30-minute interview that I stayed all the way through. And I want to thank you guys for sharing that, because I there was value. There was more value that I was able to appreciate from you guys.
Wow,
Wow.
man. We
Oh,
appreciate
So,
that, man.
yeah,
we really
no,
do.
yeah, trust, yes, no, that I don't think anybody's told us something quite that nice yet. Wow, no, thank you for sure. I mean, look, we were inspired by learning from her because I didn't know anything about that either. That's kind of how this thing got started. We just wanted to learn about a bunch of shit we
Yeah,
don't know about.
we're just tired of hanging out with some bougie ass people, so we wanted to get some cool people to talk to. So we had to create a podcast and not seem like creeps.
You know what I'm
but
saying?
you guys are just tired of each other. Is that it?
That's what it was, bro.
Dude,
I mean,
we fight all the time. Don't sweat it.
2 months into quarantine, I'm like, I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you too. Let's start a podcast. Why not?
Yeah, see, so that way, because like we can't go out, we can at least talk to other people that isn't each other.
Yeah.
I love the idea, man.
No, thank you, bro.
And that was a great, bro. That was fun, bro. That was one of the more fun interviews that we've had. We were super silly, bro, ragging on this guy the whole time. I had a blast, bro. She's cool people. I've known her for a while, but she's great people, bro. Great
Yeah,
people.
you were ranking on this guy too, man. By the way, I got you a participation.
Ah! Hey, you take the cake as the greatest guest we've had on the show. I don't give a shit.
I'll tell you why. I got this in 2005. I was in a basketball camp in FIU, and I got Hustler of the Day. What the fuck does that mean?
No.
So I thought about it. I was like, wait, I get participation points too. I mean, so there's so that's wanted to throw that in there.
This
So,
is the worst.
to show you that you're not alone, bro. You're not alone.
Oh my god! Thank you
Yo,
so much.
You're the best.
You are.
That was great.
Oh my god! Wow, I've never seen a real participation trophy before. I thought they were kind of like elves and like unicorns. I
No.
believe in them, but I've never seen them.
This guy's
No,
gonna
they
dig
were-
up
they were
all
real.
his participation awards that he buried in Orlando years
they were
ago
real,
to
bro.
get away
They
from
were-
it. And he's gonna go dig it up for sure.
For sure.
Yep. Collections.
Bro, this guy's. So, Matt. So your shirt. Let's talk about it.
Great shirt,
Okay.
by the way.
Thank you. I got it because I don't know if y'all know, but Kanye West dropped an album in 2018,
Yes.
and the cover of the album it was the mountains in Wyoming, right, with the peaks, the highs and the low peaks, and on the cover it says, "I hate being bipolar." It's awesome because I think it captures in a nutshell exactly what it is to have bipolar disorder. For those who don't know what bipolar disorder is, I mean, if there's one person that's watching this video in the future that this can resonate with, it'll make me happy. But bipolar disorder is basically a condition that it's a mental illness. I'm reading it from a thing that I printed out that causes dramatic shifts in a person's mood. So they have energy and the ability they lose the energy and their ability to think clearly. So you experience very, very highs and very, very lows. The average human being that's stable. We're all crazy, I think, but that's relatively stable. Everyone has moments that they go through that they experience, depression, happiness. But it's like, can y'all hear me?
No, yeah.
Yes.
So what bipolar disorder basically is, it's a chemical imbalance in your brain where, depending on the circumstances or whatever it could be environmental, it can be triggered by events that people go through, where you overreact. So you go, if your life is going great, and you can be a little too happy to the point that you start having delusional thoughts to a point that you start thinking that you're God. You start thinking that you're God and you're very grandiose. That's the high point. And you start thinking that everything that you say and do is justified. Even if it's crazy, it's justified by God or by something that you believe in, and it has to be done. So people look at you and you talk very, very fast. You have rapid thoughts. You don't know how to control those rapid thoughts. And next thing you know, you're in fucking jail, bro, because of all the crazy stuff that you've done. And after the high is over, you crash into a deep depression that is very, very hard to climb out of. So that's what bipolar disorder is in a nutshell.
Wow. So in reference towards Kanye West, with everything that's going on now, how do you feel about how people and the media is handling this episode that he's basically going through with bipolar disorder?
Then the perception of bipolar disorder that it's creating.
They're making money off of obviously off of everything that he's going through, and they're ranking on the guy. But a lot of people that do know him and his closest, I mean, I don't know him. I can only go by what I see on the media and on YouTube and But every person that stands by Kanye, his closest friends, Jay-Z, all these other people have said that Kanye West has always been like that. He's always been impulsive. He's always been arrogant, and that's what drove him to. I mean, if you people want these crazy ideas, you have to get it from a crazy person. You know, like it's that's the beauty of having that condition, is that you can have these creative thoughts, and after the dust settles, there's art, there's beauty in all the catastrophe that was going on with Kanye. So Kanye got diagnosed with bipolar disorder in 2016 in November. 2 weeks later, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, which was a coincidence in 2016. Um, and it all started at the age of 25, which is what, statistically speaking, um, it's when you start seeing the onset, of bipolar disorder. People who get diagnosed at 25, and I got diagnosed at 25 after I started doing some crazy shit that landed me, in a mental institution. I was in a freaking, um, I was in un manicomio, bro, basically for like 7 days for the first time.
Wow.
After I did something very, very, like, just intense. When you go through, um, a manic episode, you you become like kind of like a conspiracy theorist, and you start thinking that everyone is against you. So you become hyper defensive, and you start doing things and acting in ways to show people that everyone is asleep, and I think that I'm the only person that's awake, and nobody can tell me otherwise. And it's very, very hard to deal with, like, as far as with the family, because it's like a war against your closest loved ones, because everything that you go through in your childhood trauma, like everyone, like you, me, all of us go through things in our childhood, right? And we all hold resentments, and all those resentments that I had inside me, they come out, and I start taking out on everyone, and I become the victim. I make myself the victim, and it's terrible, because, like, in my mom's own words, she calls it the disease against the family, because I start crushing on everyone in my family, and I blame them for everything that has happened negatively in my life, and I assume I take all responsibility off, and I put it on everyone else, and I turn it into a whole explosive movement where I want everyone to know, and I want everyone to feel the pain that I feel, and it's intense, it's crazy.
Yeah, intense is definitely the word of so far. Yeah.
Yeah, no, especially I can't imagine when it first starts. It's probably a crazy transition that you're not prepared for, your family's not prepared for, and nobody knows how to react at that point.
Nobody
How
knows.
like how did your family react when like you first got diagnosed and I guess the episodes first started?
So it first started like, I would say, October 2016, and it was about a month or two after I got out of a 9-year relationship with my girlfriend at the time, and I was so used to living a life. I was so used to a routine for 8 years with my girlfriend, and just the life that I was living. When I got out of that relationship, it was like I gained this sense of freedom. I didn't know how to behave because I had never been single before, and that's when just that drastic change. Every time there's a drastic change, it's very hard for me to handle it because I'm hypersensitive. I'm hypersensitive, and I don't know how to behave, so to speak. And that's really when it started. And something happened at work, and there was this one person that was a friend of mine that, in my opinion, betrayed me, so to speak. And I wanted to make it. I did everything in my power to expose him in all his dirty laundry because of what he caused me and the pain that he caused me, that I became obsessed with wanting to expose him, that I started basically a marketing campaign, so to speak, on social media to show everyone the kind of person that this guy was. And I had like 100. It was like Mike TV for like 3 months. It was like the Mike show, and everyone was watching, was tuning in, because they were looking at all the crazy stuff that I was saying and doing, and the threats I was threatening the poor guy. And one thing led to another, um, to the point that I lost my mind. I really went insane, and I wanted him to say sorry, and I basically said, if you don't say sorry, I'm gonna do everything in my power to kill you. All right, and this is like some deep shit, and like I didn't have intentions to do so, but I wanted to scare him to the point that I just wanted him to say sorry.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't
That's
know how.
that's
It's crazy.
that's definitely extreme
It's
with a but
extreme.
yeah.
exactly. So one thing led to another, and I disappeared. I went to West Palm Beach to hide some this girl that I was seeing, and I was staying in her house in West Palm while I was doing all my crazy shit and like exposing him. And next thing you know, after I said the threat on social media, um, the the cops, this kid went to the cops, all these people went to the cops. I got reported missing, and I was in my own little world. I was like this, like in my mind, I was justified. Everything that I was doing was justified by God because me and God were like boys.
Yeah.
I was like
So
saying,
this
God,
this was that like moment that you were saying before, where at some point where you're just where everything you're speaking about is like godlike, where you feel like you're a god. This was your godlike moment. That's what it sounds like to me.
Like it sounds like there was almost no doubt in the choices that you were making at that moment in time. It sounds like you were just like, oh, yeah, this is it. There's no other option
No one
besides
could tell
this.
me that I'm wrong because I am right.
exactly, and a little billboard thing came out by the Doral Police Department, saying, missing person, Micheal Torres. He might be armed and dangerous. He's radical. He's radicalized by religion. Blah 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 blah. And they were looking for me, man. They were looking for me to the point that after I did what I wanted to do, I ya me desquité. Like I was calm. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do what I was thinking about doing because I came to my senses, and I came back down to Miami. I saw my mother at the office, and when she saw me, it was like she was like seeing a ghost because she thought I was gone, and she thought I was gonna kill myself too. I was like, I thought about, I talked about suicide, homicide, a whole bunch of like alarms that scared everyone. And I put, that's the kind of agony that my family had to go through and endure during that time. And there's no way for anyone to, they don't know how to handle it. I don't know how to handle it. So it's almost like we have to wait for this thing to end. And to the point that later that week, I came back. Like I said, I came back down to Miami. I told my mother, like, look, everything is done. Everything that I wanted to do is done. God already told me not to do this, so I'm not gonna do it. So I'm gonna go back home. I'm gonna pick up my laptop and I'm gonna go back north and keep working because I was doing another job at the time. I was sending health insurance. And as I was getting home, I get surrounded by 13 cops at the entrance of my complex. And they bring me in. They take me inside. They take me into the talk room. They're like, look, we just want to talk. And that was the moment that I got baked. Are you familiar with what a Baker Act is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I got Baker Acted. They took me into the police station. I told them the whole story that I basically told you, but with more detail. And they basically said, Mike, I know you because I dealt with you a couple years ago, and the detective had already recognized me. He's like, you seem like a nice guy. You're a good kid, bro. And you let something that you have no control over get to you, and you really don't have the power to seek vengeance or revenge on anyone. That's up to God, or whatever, whoever it is. That's not up to you. So I can do one or two things. I can take you to jail, and I can put you down for a felony, or I can Baker Act you. So they Baker acted me, and that was the first time that I was in a crazy house. I was in a loony bin for 7 days. I was interviewed by 25 different psychiatrists and psychologists, and the end result was, yeah, you're bipolar type 1, because I was experiencing psychotic episodes, and I was stuck there for 7 days, and the experience there was a crazy experience. I wouldn't wish it on anyone, because you see a lot of really people that are worse than me. People with that schizophrenia, people that just a lot of people that they were talking to themselves. You see a lot of people getting taken down by the nurses when they have these episodes, and they take you in, like you've seen it on TV shows and movies. Like, oh, that shit is real, man. And it's a shame, because what really bothers me sometimes is when people, they see someone that has a mental condition, and they kind of like rank on it, and they think that, oh no, it's all mental. Anytime that I hear somebody tell me that it's all mental, it kind of irritates me, because this is something that we don't have control over. It just comes. And I've been through rehab as well. A year later, it only got worse. I went to rehab for 3 months in Gainesville, and it just sucks, because I was introduced into a world of people that really go through pain, and drug addiction. And drug addiction is not a disease. The disease is That's just a symptom of the real disease. The real disease is shame. People don't know how to deal with with those demons that they have to carry from early childhood, and they kind of, drugs and alcohol is a way to kind of like numb and kind of push away the real true feelings that you have to kind of face. And I've seen a lot of, nasty things. Like the week before rehab, a week before checking out of rehab, as a matter of fact, a good friend of mine that was happy that she was getting out the same week that I was getting out. She bought an apartment. She got this. She was getting ready to start her life and start her life clean and sober, and she was very, very happy. She had been through rehab 5 times, bro. So we both got out of rehab together. A week later, she hung herself, man.
Ah,
So, and
yeah.
I mean, this shit got dark pretty quickly, but it's just it's just to
No,
show
no, but
you that,
but that's real. That's unfortunately what happens at times.
yeah,
That's a dude. It sounds like, look, well, you went crazy. Yeah, you had a manic episode. It is what it is, but it doesn't sound like there was a lot of help at that point. It doesn't sound like there was a lot of recognition for it, if that makes sense. It sounds like, all right, we gotta either send him to jail or to the loony bin. There's no middle ground, because yeah, your actions were extreme. Absolutely, I'm not gonna disagree with that, but it just sounded like you were hurt and you needed someone to be there for you, or at
exactly.
least on a larger scale than it being that simple.
I mean, yeah, you trickle back to the absence of someone that was with you for 9 years, a certain structure that your life was around, everything changes. I mean, even if just a normal human being too would have to adapt a certain type of way. So imagine if you have something holding you back from really adapting and growing, it'll drive you off the walls, man. You know. And yeah, I have a cousin that's schizophrenic. I've seen firsthand what could happen with these guys in their episodes. So it's one of the saddest things to see, because I mean, granted, I grew up with the kid. We used to play basketball together. We played football, and then from 1 year to the next, like the next time I see him, he's talking to himself, a little conspiracy theorist, just thinking that the world's out to get him, and to the point where he can't live with like family. He has to live because just for self-harm and harm to others. So, and to see that, and that's it's tough, man.
Yeah. By the way,
It's
I'm
tough.
sorry to cut you off, but
No, you're good.
No,
You're
you're
good.
good.
I'm at Tap 42 right now in City Place in Doral.
Enjoy.
Because
Enjoy.
yeah, so this is where I do my homework. This is where I write, because this is like my element, the restaurant. I was bred in the restaurant industry, so
So, hey,
this is kind of
so
I'm comfortable.
we're very known within the.
Restaurant, and
We know a lot about the
we know it
restaurant.
well. I think it's the best way to put that. Yeah. I just finished working in the restaurant industry for like 6 years
I'm
almost.
still working in the
He's
restaurant.
still,
I'm
yeah.
an assistant general manager at a food truck, brother. Come by Tiago's Tacos.
Nice. I work at Rusty Pelican, by the way. If y'all ever want to come through.
Oh, I
Oh,
love that
absolutely. All
place.
right. Yeah.
I love
We'll
that place.
definitely set that up. Absolutely. But yeah, man. Wow. Wow.
Well, it's good to. I mean, after all that, it's good to see that you've got a grasp on life and that you're doing some really cool things and you're able to speak about it. Throw this information out there for people that need to hear it, especially now throughout COVID, where people are very isolated. And I mean, I can't imagine that for someone that's dealing with something like bipolar disorder. I can't imagine how isolation could benefit
Yeah.
them at
Yeah.
all.
That can't be a healthy way to live at
I
that point.
experienced something pretty it was kind of like a not a breakthrough, but it opened my eyes like one of those moments when everyone went into lockdown, because I had another like a hypomanic episode, which is basically like a mini version of an episode last year in August. And it always has to do with the relationship, a girl that I was dating, it didn't work out, and it fucked me up, and I feel like I felt like I was treated unfairly, and then I went again on a little tantrum. But when I got out of that, by the time December came, I went into depression. So December, January, and February, I was kind of depressed, and then the pandemic happened, where everyone had to stay home, and at that moment, I felt better, because I felt like everyone in the world was in sync with me, because the average person hasn't really um, been through something where you have to be isolated and stuck in your house, and there have been statistics. I mean, I think they said it on TV that depression has gone through the roof because of the pandemic, because people are not used to being in isolation and just being alone with their thoughts. Nobody wants to be alone with their thoughts, because you tend to go kind of crazy. And it really made me like feel more comfortable, because all right, now everyone's on the same page as me. Not in a happy way, but I was like, all right, I feel a little bit better. And
Everybody's on the same frequency.
They could relate now, I guess, for lack of a better term, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, no, and you're right. There's actually some states that, like there, and some big states too, that they actually have more suicide deaths than actual COVID deaths throughout the pandemic.
It's sad, man.
California is probably the biggest one of that, and you just search that up, and it's sad. It makes you think like, wow, we have a pandemic, but like, what if there's another pandemic that we're not even talking about?
Mental health, man.
Which is a mental health pandemic.
Mental health.
And then yeah, it goes back to what you're talking about, facing your demons. There's bro, people lie every day. People imagine all the little lies you've ever told just to make your day a little bit easier without caring about the repercussions in your life.
Even the "oh yeah, I worked out today" lie.
Yeah.
We're just so that someone could see you, and maybe if you make yourself feel better, and in their eyes, and in the other person's eyes, they look at you a little bit better because you actually did something productive, like
or
focus
like
on your health.
the social media lie. Oh, I'm out, I'm on a boat, I'm doing this, I'm living life. Look at me, but it's not real.
I can't stand that shit, man.
Yeah, dude. And you see so much of it here in Miami.
All of it.
You see, so it's such superficial content that people throw out, like, and it's ridiculous. It really is, bro.
So
Like, go on a
I'm
hike, go look at some stars, dude. Just go humble yourself
Exactly.
out and realize that there's so much more than all this rah, you know?
Exactly. But then what happens during the beginning of the pandemic? There was none of it at all. But you see these people clamoring without, and then as soon as we reopened, which is why we had to shut down. Oh, everybody out there on the boats. We talk about it all the time, bro. We go on Instagram, and we're like, yo, what alternate dimension is this? You got people wilding out on boats, ass out.
What hookah bar are you at that's open
Like,
at 2 a.m. and you're sipping Hennessy? Like, what? Where is that?
How many people are on that boat? You know what I'm saying? But,
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's
One second, my bad.
no, you're
Yo,
good.
so this is Bradley. He's taking care of me now. We worked together for 4 years.
Shout out to Bradley.
Shout out to
bro.
Bradley. What's up, Bradley?
On the
At the
podcast.
Cheesecake Factory. We're doing a little podcast. They're interviewing me because they want to. I'm telling a little bit about bipolar disorder.
Okay.
Right. So he's kind of been he's seen me during the whole thing that I was going through, and
Look, he's still there.
again, so he works here now, and most of my friends work here now, and so this is like my element, bro. This is like
Everybody go to Top 42 and tip Bradley accordingly. Shout out to Bradley.
Shout
one
out to
time.
Bradley.
He just said shout out to Bradley. Everybody's gonna come to 42 and tip you.
But yeah, man. So like, it makes you think. Like, do these people all want to go out to like actually party, or do they want to go out because they can't sit in their shit, for lack of a better term? And yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people who just can't sit in their shit and just face.
So what I did, sorry to cut you off, but what I did, not to add to your point, what I did at 25 when I started going through my episodes, I started videotaping and recording everything that I was experiencing. So all the little idiosyncrasies that were in my mind, I was posting it because I was so, kind of upset at the fact that, social media is a great tool, but it can be misused. And a lot of people, you see on Instagram, they post all the happy stuff, all the things that they're doing, and to me, it's a facade for them. Like, sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. And what I did is I aired out all my dirty laundry on Instagram, so that if there's one person that can see and feel that, what, I'm not alone, because this kid is actually, willing to expose all the dirty stuff that he's doing, all of the bad things that he shouldn't be doing. But I'm putting it out there just to show people that I'm human, that I'm human, and this is what I go through. And somebody once told me, Mike, I think your videos are good. If it's a little unorthodox, but if it touches one person, that's all that matters, man. And there was this one message that really, it made me, to be honest with you, I started crying when I received the message, because I said it in a post last year. I said, I make these videos not for nothing, but I make them just to see if there's one person that can learn from what I'm going through. And I got a message from one of my boxers. He said, hey, Mike, I'm that one person, bro. So keep doing what you're doing. So if it's one person that's listening to this, then I did my job, I think,
That's awesome, bro. I couldn't agree more. I try to live my life the same way, especially with this podcast.
Yeah, we both do, but still, man, wow, I think it's incredible for you to be so self-aware to put all that out there and with that intention, because frankly, you don't have to do that. Like, so it's nice to see you or just anybody do that.
You said it prior. The disease is shame, and it's when you expose yourself when you're most vulnerable is when you're easiest to heal and grow from those wounds. They start closing up, and yeah, the scars will always be there, but you learn from them and you move forward. And then guess what? Other people could see those stars. And if you talk to them about the stars and scars, then they could learn from it too. And I guess maybe the scars is a metaphor for the vulnerability that you put out onto your social media.
Exactly. And 75% of the people were getting a kick out of it, which for the wrong reasons. But that 25%, I think they really learned from it, and they thanked me for it. And yeah, man. So I'm happy about that. I don't do it as much anymore because now I'm a little bit more reserved because I'm more focused on my recovery, because I'm in recovery for bipolar disorder and drugs and alcohol, and because the drugs and alcohol fueled all my mania. So now I just try to do my very best to stay clean because, man, I like mushrooms, bro. I'll be honest with you. I like, and then when you have a guy who's manic, who's on mushrooms, he's a supreme god, bro. I'm a supreme god, and I know everything. I'm from another galaxy, and everything here on this physical world is bullshit, and I have all the answers. It's crazy.
You're a goddamn intergalactic shaman, right?
Oh shit.
This guy's a silver surfer, bro.
This guy's a
This
silver
guy's a silver surfer, bro. That's what he is.
Yeah, man.
This guy's no, bro. But hey, I agree with you on those statements on some levels.
Everything.
Yeah, bro, for sure, dude. Yeah, I could definitely see how you could arrive to that point. And fuck it, bro. Dan, especially if you're driving everybody crazy, you're gonna have less and less people there to check you. So yeah, if you have nobody to tell you that you're not a shaman, supreme god with zero doubts, you're gonna be like, yeah, you're damn right.
And on the side note, that interview that you enjoyed so much with OK Melanie, I feel like it's only adequate for you to know that me and Raul were on mushrooms throughout that whole episode.
Kind of figured.
And Melanie was the shaman in our lives for sure. Melanie
Yeah.
was just leading the way. You know, and
I actually just met her that day for that interview. We had never spoken before, and yeah, no, super nice person, super nice girl.
yeah, I'd love for us to sit down in a room maybe in the near future, and just all shoot the shit, talk shit. Well, she knows a lot of stuff, and we also are into videography and photography as well.
Yeah.
So she'd be someone really cool to pick their mind, and also just just go out shooting and shit. Just go back to fucking.
That's what I would love. If y'all can link me up with her, I would greatly appreciate it.
For sure, bro. No, even all of us, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So what else?
I mean, man, that was a lot thrown, but
yeah.
I know.
Yeah, well, like I'm still processing everything.
yeah, man. But I mean, I guess to keep it in the world of mental health.
But one question I do have. So you said you had bipolar type 1. I didn't know that there were different types of bipolars. How do you tell which type you have? Like, what's the difference?
So bipolar type 1 is the more it's the more intense one. Bipolar type 2 is when you have manic episodes and depression. But bipolar type 1 is when you've experienced psychotic episodes. And I've experienced about 2 or 3 psychotic episodes, and that is what is the factor that adds to that basically distinguishes the difference between type 2 and type 1. So the whole God the fact that I'm a God, and I start seeing things, hearing things, and I start thinking that signs. I start thinking that numbers have a lot to do with a lot of things, like specific numbers, triangles, symbols, certain patterns, and I start trying to connect pieces that I think make sense, which really don't make sense. So that's what a psychotic episode is, when you go above and beyond, and you become obsessed with one thing. When you become obsessed with one thing, like for example, I became obsessed with exposing this one person, and I did everything in my power to expose him, that I crossed the line to the point that I found somebody who was willing to do something to this person, and for a small amount of money. And I was like, all right, let's do it. I just want you to scare the guy. And so when you're at that point, you're so far gone. You're already in a state where that's how people end up in jail. And that's how I ended up in jail a year later, 2017 in November. I went and I did something very, very stupid, where I really threatened him, and I went to the kid's house, and I dropped bullets in front of his house with burnt Joker cards. Like, if I'm the Joker, man, I become the Joker. And all that stuff happened. The cops were called, and then next thing you know, they're looking for me. I fled to Atlanta with my girl, with my fiance at the time. That, by the way, when you're in a manic episode, you tend to do very, very impulsive things. I met a girl. Um, and I thought she was a little crazy, but I liked her. She was different. She was smart. And 3 weeks later, I proposed to her. She said, "Yeah, we were gonna get married." And I had only known her for 3 months. And we
That's
left to
super
Atlanta.
wild.
Yeah, crazy, crazy, crazy stuff, man. So then the January of 2018 was when I was at Starbucks,
Yeah.
and a whole bunch of undercover cops came in from all angles, from all doors, and they took me down. And that's when I went to jail.
Not at Starbucks.
Not anywhere but Starbucks. But did you finish the
Yeah.
coffee at least?
No, I couldn't even finish my coffee, bro.
Couldn't finish
Oh
it.
my
Oh my
Couldn't
god.
finish my coffee. Yeah, man, my chai tea latte stayed there.
My chai tea latte, never to be seen of,
Never forget. R.I.P.
Yeah,
chai tea
man.
latte.
never to
So
be seen.
fast forward. I was in jail for about 2.5 months, trying to figure out what they were gonna do with me. I was facing 5 years over that stupid thing, and thank God I found my stepdad, who's an attorney, but he's not a criminal attorney. He found someone who was able to take the case, and the best thing was, you know what? Let's put you through rehab, because let's let them know that you do have bipolar disorder and it was an episode. So let's take you to rehab because it's gonna help the case. So I went to rehab in Gainesville from May 2018 to September 2000. I mean, I'm sorry, May 2018 to September 2018, which was a great experience, by the way. And then after that, I wanted to start my life in Gainesville, but I realized that there's nothing here. At the time, I wanted to get back into real estate. I wanted to get back into the working world, and my therapist told me, Mike, you want to move to Atlanta, you want to move here, you want to do that. It seems to me that you're just looking for a geographical cure, and that there's no such thing as a geographical cure. You're escaping your problems. Go back home, make amends, face your demons, and go from there. You're already stable enough. You know all. We gave you all the tools in rehab. Go back to Miami and start your life, and go from there. And that's exactly what I did. By the time January came, I came back to Miami, 2019, and I've been stable since, man. And now I have a good schedule, and I'm doing everything that I want to do, man. I'm working. I work the money that I make. I invest it into my other endeavors that I'm into, my boxing stuff, and really videography is what I'm really getting into. I have a film director who I'm under her wing, and she's my mentor, and she's guiding me and teaching me a lot of stuff. And I really want to get into that scene. I really want to get into the scene of the filmmaking world here in Miami, so I can maybe one day, tell my story on a bigger platform. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I mean, granted, we over here we have a couple things in the works as far as like short films are concerned, and it's, I mean, ironic enough that what we're working with right now are psychological thrillers. We're in the process of we're working on three, actually.
Yeah.
We're working on two that are in house, and then one that another director videographer approached us with, which just so happens to be a psychological thriller, and we took that one on as well.
And they're all basically psychological
Yeah,
thrillers, but in different perceptions of it.
What is,
Yeah, like one is like family based. One is more like about a guy who's
just crazy, like
slipping.
just one guy that's losing grasp of reality, and then another one where it's
And then another one, and then the other one is about a guy who lost everything, and he's trying to realize how the fuck did this happen?
yeah.
What like how did I end up here?
So I mean, granted, for the most part, whenever we'd love to reach out to you to, maybe you could
For
just
some
come
advice,
just
and
come
just
in
be a
and
consultant.
yeah, because we're gonna be, like I said, we here at Knowledge, Nonsense, and Reasoning, we really did everything just to make a collective of really cool artists to be able to work with and to network with, and then also like help each other out. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I might not know something about acting, so I'm gonna go talk to this guy that I brought on the show for acting, and then you come on the show and you've seen a couple of episodes. Oh, how do we get in contact with that person? Cool, we'll help you out. We can try to help you out with that. They're really cool with us. For the most part, everybody that's on the show is super cool with us. I want to say all of them are really cool with us.
Yeah, like
And if you're not, we're really sorry.
We thought wrong. We thought we were friends. Our mistake.
But now let's go over to boxing. So how did you get into boxing after coming back down in 2019? And like, how did that come about?
So just a little bit about myself. I was born and raised here in Miami, like a lot of us are. I'm first generation born. My family's from Nicaragua. My mom came at 19 years old in the 80s. In a freaking tire, bro. She came in the tire. They put them in tires. My mom, my aunt, and my uncles, and they went through the lakes and they made it to the United States to find a better opportunity and the land of opportunity. So they made it here in
Wait,
the
so they
late 80s.
floated? They floated in
Yeah.
tires? Wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Wow.
because the thing was that Nicaragua was going through a revolution at the time, right? And my grandmother, one day my grandmother, everyone like from 14 and on was supposed to was forced to join the military, and at the time my uncle was 15 years old, so he would have had to go. And when my grandmother saw, um, the cops bringing in um, the sons of the neighbors in body bags, um, she was like, "That's it. I'm getting my kids out of here." So my grandfather paid a significant amount of money at the time to get them out of here. And my uncle went to Costa Rica, and my aunts went to two of my aunts, no, one of my aunts, and my uncles. They decided to go to Miami, so that's how we made it here, and here I am. Like a lot of us, I think we all have similar stories. Cubans and Nicaraguans, we all came and took over Miami in the 80s and 90s, right,
Yeah.
and the 70s.
That's crazy.
So then I was born and raised in Miami, like I said, Little Havana. Then I went to school. I went to school to GW Carver Middle School in Coconut Grove, and from there I went to Coral Park in Huachete.
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 Huachete. So Westchester, and I was there for I played basketball for Coral Park for a few years, and I had hoop dreams at the time. I wanted to play basketball professionally and college and everything, but it didn't work out one way or another. It didn't work out. My grades weren't up to par to play my senior year, and um, that's when I started getting into boxing. And I always wanted to do boxing, but boxing is it's such a hard sport that you have to really commit yourself to one thing. And the way that I am, I like to put my hands in a lot of things. So I'm kind of good at a lot of things. I'm not an expert at one thing. And if I wanted to pursue boxing as a profession, I would have had to dedicate my life to boxing. Um, but I do love boxing, so for that reason, I decided to I met Mike and Chino, which are my mentors and my coaches at KO Fitness in Hialeah Gardens in 2016, and they took me in. They took me in with all my flaws and all my problems, and they never judged me. So that was like my home. It was like my safe haven, and we became really good friends, and they took me in, and I fit in there. They tell me I help them out in any way that I can, and now I'm a boxing coach, and I box as well. I box for fun, and maybe one day I'll do some amateur boxing, and but I'm really there because now that I'm into videography, I want to be able to I want to record and film the story of what it's like, what it really is like, um, to be a boxer and to be in that scene. That it's not about macho, it's not about being tough. It's a lot of emotions that you have to deal with to build that resistance to keep moving forward when it's very, very hard. 1% of the people make it in boxing, and in anything else, in the arts and anything. It's entertainment, and in entertainment, it's like a small percentage of people that make it. And what I want to do is I want to be able to I want to put their story on the map, and I want to put Miami on the map, and every one of us, all the millennials that we go through, we're experiencing something that is different, than our elders. So there's something there that I have in the works, and I do all of their videos. I do the promotional videos when someone's going to fight. If someone has an upcoming fight in Vegas, I'll do the promotion videos or interviews and all that stuff. And I'm also coaching the amateurs, the little kids, and yeah, man, just doing a little bit of everything just to stay busy and to find my creativity where it fits.
That's awesome, bro. I think you're onto something. You should definitely do that. As far as like boxing, like when I think of boxing and the emotions behind it, I think of like Mayweather, and I feel like for most people that don't know much about boxing and just think about a
That's
character,
like the standard of it.
and not to shit on that guy, but like I think
But
that
like,
there's a lot more raw emotion that goes into getting to that level. A lot of people don't track boxers until they already become famous. I got into UFC, and then through UFC, I've gotten into boxing as well. So I had a buddy of mine that I grew up with that just got on a UFC event. Man, I can't remember his name right now.
Danny Chavez.
Danny Chavez.
Danny Chavez. Shout out to Danny Chavez.
Danny Chavez. There it is.
His first official UFC fight debut.
Down here from Huachete, baby.
Huachete.
From Kendo.
Kicked ass, bro. Yeah. So
Nice.
So it makes you think about his story, man, coming from Huachete.
And you seeing it firsthand, getting a camera and picking it up. Kudos to you, man. It's something that I definitely think you should pursue, let alone that you have a fan right here. I'd love to watch something like that.
Absolutely. And I think that'll be great for the sport. Maybe obviously not, the giant headlines, but for the people who who live in Miami, Westchester, or whatever, that don't know about boxing and maybe want to learn more. And then they look at Mayweather and they're like, oh, it's just a bunch of, people, money this, money that. Like, hey, like one of my favorite stories is Mike Tyson's. I mean, I'm sure it's a lot of people's favorite stories, but come on, angry kid going to jail, didn't know how to control that rage. This kid was in jail multiple times already by the age of 17. And then he gets taken by his coach, turns into arguably the biggest champion of all time in boxing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why? Because he had control of his emotions, but that doesn't mean he wasn't emotional. Doesn't mean that guy was a fucking radical ass dude. But guess what? He took control of those emotions, and he funneled them to his success.
And he had no fear. He had no fear in exposing all of the ugliness that comes from our personalities. He's a very controversial boxer as far as his personality, and Mike Tyson is very. I think he's a smart guy, and to this day he stays busy. And I like how Mike Tyson is just his raw, authentic self. I appreciate people who can express their good, their bad, and their ugly. And Mike Tyson is controversial and famous because of that, because of his personality, because of who he is, because of how misunderstood he is. And people like that, I really look up to and aspire to be like.
Oh, for sure. I remember I had seen a Joe Rogan episode where they were talking about Mike Tyson, and how he's waking up at 4 every morning to go run a couple miles because his enemies are still asleep. So that was like in the middle of like, I had a little weight loss journey throughout the start of COVID. I decided to watch what I intake. I lost some weight, I gained some muscle. And I remember for the longest, for like a whole month, I was waking up at like 6 in the morning, or I was getting home from work because I was working overnights, and I get home like at 5:30 after working a whole shift at a McDonald's. And I would go put on my shorts and go for a run and do a crazy workout here every morning. I was doing that every morning for a month straight. And I remember I had an alarm that would go off at 4 in the morning just as a sense of direction. And that alarm said, Mike Tyson's awake. What are you doing?
Exactly.
Every morning, bro. Every morning. And even on days where I didn't work, where I was asleep, that alarm would come up and I would look at it and I'd be like, yo, you know what?
Mike Tyson is awake.
Mike Tyson is awake. And my enemies are asleep. So let me go out there, and granted, like, who are my enemies? Like, no, I really don't have enemies like that. But like, you have to have that mentality sometimes.
Yeah, it's because you're not a secret agent.
I'm not the secret agent. Raul was.
But all jokes aside, yeah, I definitely feel that way whenever I wake up early. Like, don't you love that whenever you wake up early and like you're getting shit done like super early, and people are like, whoa, why are you up so early? Like, I think about shit like that. I was like, yo, because the people coming after me are now one more step behind. Like, I definitely put little crazy shit like that in my head. Like, my enemies maybe aren't people, but my enemies are myself.
Yeah.
My fucking
No, and that
being comfortable.
And honestly, that attracts people because there are people that are in your life that will get slowed down by how early you wake up, by how much you're doing. Like, I have people that I meet that want to be friends, and then they see how much I'm doing, and it kind of turns them off. They're like, wow, this guy's so like nonstop. He's recording the show. He's working over here, blah, blah, blah. Now he's working out. Like, when does this guy sleep? And then
if you talk about the shit that you're doing, they get resentful of it.
Yeah, they're like, oh, how's your day? And you're like, oh, I closed the deal here. I sold this. I made some money over here. I got a nice workout in. I learned something about myself today. What did you do today? Oh, I'm just waking up. Oh.
I watch The Office. It's a personality trait. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. How do you feel? How do you feel about I mean, granted that now we spoke about Mike Tyson and like how Raul said he got someone that took him under his wing, right? To help him out, to help him get better. There was another point that we made that involves people helping you out to get to a better point. It's a sense of enlightenment where, So I guess what I'm trying to ask is, how is surrounding the people around you and having certain mentors in your life help you deal with bipolar disorder?
It's a blessing. It's a blessing because I have a support system now that's why I can't. That's another reason why I came back down to Miami, because nobody knows you better than your family, and your family and the friends that you surround yourself around. And the thing about my disorder is that I could be thinking that I'm doing fine, but then all of a sudden this episode creeps in and I don't know when it comes. And my family's there to, firsthand to start seeing the patterns. All right, you're starting to do this. You're overworking yourself. One way that I keep myself accountable is I have this schedule right here. You can't see it, but it's a schedule. that I got in rehab, right? So patient name Micheal Torres, and I basically I write down my whole planner, and it has to be consistent. So it gives me something to work for, so that I can continue doing my schedule and meeting my goals. And if I don't have this, I'm lost in the wind. I don't know. I lose myself, and that's how I end up getting in trouble. So every single week, I write down everything that I'm doing. Everything that's in red are non-negotiable. These are things that must be done. The
Wow.
green are commitments that I make to people. Like I made a commitment to the gym. I made a commitment to videography and film and screenwriting and all the stuff that I'm learning with my film director, Lily, that's teaching me. And I have a little bit of, and then I have a yellow one that's free time. So I have to follow my schedule. If I don't follow my schedule, then I lose myself. And the moment that I start seeing that my hours a week, my productivity goes to like 60 to 70 hours a week, and it starts increasing. That's when I start noticing that I'm going into a state of mania, because when someone who's manic is constantly nonstop, they don't sleep, they wake up at 4 in the morning, blah blah blah. And there's gotta be a balance. You can only do so much. It's very very good to stay busy, but for me, since I'm hypersensitive, when I'm doing too much, it tends to start, that little mania starts peeking in. So this is how I hold myself accountable, and this is how I know that I'm stable. And the moment that I start seeing that I'm either doing too much or too little, that's when I start knowing, okay, so I may be going down into a little maybe depression, or I may be going down into a little bit too much mania. And when I pass that barrier, is when all hell breaks loose, and it's very hard for people to control me at that point. But thankfully, right now I'm stable, and things are going great. Things are moving forward, and I'm recognizing my triggers, I've gotten to know myself a lot more with my condition that I've known about for the past 3 years. So it's definitely a work in progress. Every day I'm learning more about myself, just like I think all of us should.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we could agree with that for sure. But it's great to hear that you're making this such a positive experience for yourself, because I'm
Yeah.
sure that not everybody takes it that way. I'm sure that there are people who become insecure because of this, and maybe they let it control their lives and consume them, unfortunately. So it's nice to see
Even
that
I
you're
do.
not letting it happen.
Even I do. I get into. I mean, I'm a person who's secure and insecure. I have my phases when I'm very insecure, big phases when I'm very secure. And that's what it's all about, bro. It's about managing your highs and your lows and trying to stay balanced. My color is purple. My favorite color is purple, by the way, because red to me, the color red symbolizes mania and my highs, and the color blue symbolizes depression. So I try to be purple all the time, because the combination of red and blue make purple. So whenever I
Wow.
have a lot of I have my glasses are purple. I have a lot of, everything that I do is like the purple is there to remind me that I want to stay as balanced as possible. So
Right.
that's one of the ways of me keeping myself in check. You know.
That's crazy. That's dope, man. That you had to do
Yeah.
some real like self like low.
Yeah, like you have to sit there and really analyze, what the fuck am I doing
Yeah,
here?
man. And to go back to that structure that you were showing us, man, that's really cool. I could say that I mean,
I think most people don't have structure, bipolar disorder or
right.
not. Like that type of structures.
No, what
It,
what I guess what I'm trying to say is that I've known since starting this podcast with Raul and doing all our other shit, that you needed structure to succeed in a lot of things in life, with business, with relationships, with friendships, with any endeavors that you do. But never did I once think that a way that you could fight mental health, especially negative mental health, or whatever you want, any mental condition they have, a way that to fight it would be through structure, where basically like structure through mental health could help you stay on track to not fall back down the rabbit hole or fall back down the hole. That's crazy. I would have never thought of that. It's really cool that you've incorporated that into your life. And then on top of that, if you overwork yourself, like you're saying, bro, you're speaking the truth, bro. And that's really cool, man. I really like the words that are coming out of your mouth.
yeah. Well, to go off that, I mean, yeah. Look, I didn't have a lot of structure before this, and I think that's where a lot of my anxiety came from, because I have anxiety. Well, most people do, but whatever. That's a whole
So do I.
whole yeah. So, but like I really wasn't taking care of it, because I was just so back to what you were saying. 4 in the morning, wake up. I gotta go to work. I gotta go do this. I gotta go do that. And then through this, we have to have structure, because we have people lined up for interviews. We're trying to do this. We have a lot of shit. And yeah, it really was eye opening to the fact that anxiety came from the uncertainty of knowing what I'm doing next. because I knew what I wanted to do, but I had no order of what I'm doing. So therefore, I don't know what I'm doing next, and then nothing works because, well, the fuck am I doing? If that makes
Exactly.
sense,
Yeah.
So I think it's incredible to see the structure that you have, man. I think it's super kick-ass, and I bet it's hard to keep track of that and to commit to that.
It is. It is. But it's not just for me, but I think everyone. I'm a big advocate for therapy. I think everyone needs therapy because we all have our own little, like I said previously, personal demons that we have to tackle. And a lot of it, I have a family member. I'm not going to say his name to protect him, but he's talking to me, and I had a conversation with him, and he's like, I'm going through work is hard. I'm going through work, and then the whole thing with the Black Lives Matters thing, it's really getting to me because the industry that I'm in, where I work, a lot of what these guys are doing goes against my morals, and I'm morally conflicted, and blah 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 blah. And he's just anxious. And I'm like, yo, have you ever considered therapy, bro? He's like, no. I'm like, you know what? My girlfriend keeps telling me to do it, and I keep telling her yes, but I'm not doing it. I'm like, look, bro, everyone needs care. Everyone needs therapy, bro, because you're telling me that you're holding all this baggage. What if the baggage that you're holding stems from your childhood and everything that comes in the past that you haven't even fixed? Therapy is like working out. The first session is gonna be very hard. Second session is they're gonna start, picking into the little things that you went through in your past, and little, next thing you know, you have a clear understanding of who you are and what is it that causes you to have anxiety and have XYZ. And next thing you know, you're good. And then that's why therapy is important, because to me, therapy is like working out. It's like lifting weights. It's going to be hard at first, but little by little, those reps going up, weight goes up, and you become a better version of yourself mentally, because your mental health should come first above all.
Absolutely. Amen, brother.
Yes. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, and that's the thing, that people think that working on your mental health isn't considered work. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not punching in and you're not getting paid whatever the fuck you get paid at your job or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I think that caring about your mental health is the most important work. Because how can you really succeed if you can't take care of yourself? How can you take care of anything?
You have to invest in yourself first, bro.
Have to.
Yeah.
You have to. And so many people don't. They just go they just go through their life. They're doing whatever the fuck everybody else tells them to do, and they go to their job that they're making somebody else more money for, and they're barely getting by. And then at that point, they don't even have time to take care of themselves, even if they chose to. And it's just it's almost like you're not supposed to have a chance at taking care of yourself, because
Exactly.
maybe you realize too much then, right?
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
It's hard work to try to unravel mysteries of your mind, especially like your subconscious mind and repressed memories, So I think I've gone through my shit, bro, and I've had a countless amount of counseling sessions, therapy sessions, and something that someone told me when it came to me, not really opening up myself when it came to therapy, was just hey, when you do something and it feels really good, people mostly say that was very therapeutic. There's a reason why people say that. It's because that's the same feeling you're gonna get once you unravel a mystery that gives you anxiety, that causes you to have episodes, that causes you to go off the fucking walls, man. Even if your friend has to be your therapy for your first couple sessions, vent to that person. But at some point, man, there's a reason why they're professionals. There's a reason they get the job done. For the most part.
Here's the thing, man. Nobody wants to feel alone, right? And when you're going through anxiety and a little bit of depression, and you're down because what you thought that you had planned isn't working out, or whatever the case may be, when you go to therapy, when you talk to a friend, even if it's a friend, the right friend, the best thing that you get out of it is the feeling that you're not alone, and that's what everyone wants to feel. Everyone wants to feel that they're not alone, man. And when you feel that, when you have that sense of feeling, it kind of it takes this weight off your shoulders, and that's therapy.
Yeah. Absolutely. Every single fuck up that I've made in my life has come from a point of loneliness. Whether it's I just got out of a relationship and I want to get a tattoo and end up not liking the tattoo, something small like that, or completely wrecking a car because I decided to stay out drinking till 6 a.m. because I did not want to go home alone. And it took me a very long time to see, to look at myself and be like, why the fuck am I 25 years old and not where I want to be in life, And it took that realization where shit, I haven't been by myself in the last couple of years. I've always been in and out of relationships, always had someone there that might have not been good for me, and everybody that was good for me, I pushed them away. I just wanted all that. And then I had an epiphany throughout this quarantine where I really got time to be by myself for a lot of it. And it came to me, I'm like, you know what, bro? Being by myself isn't that bad. And once I learned to love being with myself, all my bad decision making, like all that itch to go do something that could inevitably cause me to have a downfall or spiral down or relapse, went with the wind, bro. Went with the wind. The minute that I really started loving myself.
Yeah, man, and it's crazy because that's how it goes, and we try to find this love in all these crazy and nice people. Like you've done it. Bro, I still catch myself.
You can't find love in other people.
You can't, bro, and I still catch myself doing it sometimes, and it's fucking. And like I try not to be too hard on myself after when I realize what the fuck I'm doing, cause whatever. But fuck, like you look fucking rough sometimes.
Michael said it before. One of the scariest places you could be as a human is in your own mind.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So
especially if you don't talk about your problems and repressed memories. Like imagine all those inner demons just coming into fucking. And you could be the happiest person in the fucking world, and the minute that you hit that low point.
Or then you talk about it to the wrong people who are just fucking manipulating you to feel worse about you, pretending to care. Because unfortunately, there are people like that.
Yeah.
You have to talk to the right person.
You have to talk to the right person. But and then what happens? Sometimes the people you want to talk to aren't the people that you're supposed to be talking to.
Yeah.
And then that's it. You gotta find it within yourself. You gotta pull that shit together. Because if not, you fucking fall. I mean, yeah, like well, yeah, we heard your story. We've haven't gone that extreme, but I think we've teetered in that realm.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about mental health because we're not fucking perfect because we've fucked up 1,000 fucking times.
I'm fucking nuts. I'll be the first one to realize that. I
had a feeling both of you were kind of crazy. So that's why
I'm fucking dude. Like, I'm fucking wild.
This is gonna be a great interview.
Oh yeah, bro, for sure.
Oh, this is going great.
Yeah, bro, man. Yeah, dude. We do some crazy.
I have post-it notes all over the place, like everywhere that just says being sad is okay. Like I'll open up a drawer and it'll be there, and I'm like, heard.
Yeah, bro.
Heard on that, sir.
Yeah, no, they really are everywhere. And then I have a journal where like I'll just be like, literally, I'll open up and be like, what the fuck?
Like to the point where I can't even read it. Like it'll be around and
it's
I'll
like
look at it and he'll
big.
grab it away.
Yeah, like the letter. Yeah, like the letters are like this big, and it just says, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, and yeah, and then like that all happens in the middle of like episodes. Really, yeah, like yeah, bro. Because I'm definitely capable of spiraling for sure. Sometimes, sometimes days at a time, where just like, and it just ends the same way, broke as fuck.
Yeah, man.
Strung out.
And the worst part is, when it's fueled by bad tendencies, by drugs, by alcohol, by things that could hurt you,
toxic attitudes and toxic people, and then sometimes you got to realize that you're the toxic person in that, that equation.
I'm currently going through recovery as well, man. I had a really bad drinking problem, bro. I was an alcoholic. I've been sober, I want to say, almost 2 months now, man. It's been one of the greatest 2 months of my whole 25 years on this planet, man. And it's been nothing but mushrooms and good times, bro. And I found my serenity through all this, through the world ending. Like I really found what really leads me to do stupid shit. And if I could take this out of my life, imagine what I could do. Imagine what I could save. Imagine who I could be with. Imagine what I could become.
But you said that you found love. You found love in a hopeless place.
Sing it.
Yeah, I found love in a hopeless place. Dun, 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 dun. But anyways,
wait, when does the beat drop? Drop the beat.
Remix.
Hey, by the way, those Funko Pops y'all got there, I like them, right? I don't know which ones they are, but those things are dope. Those are Funko Pops, right? Behind you?
Yeah. Oh, bro. So I brought those from my house when we.
Hey.
This guy with the props. I love it.
So lit.
I love it.
This
guy brought his own props. That's fucking
awesome.
lit.
I came ready, bro.
No,
Deep dive,
sure.
right?
Deep dive, sir.
Dive, bro.
Dive head first. No,
That's so lit. This guy brought a fucking.
No, bro, he fucked me up with the participation trophy.
No, that's awesome.
Nah, man, I was ready to walk out. I was like, okay, it's his show.
This is what it's about to come to right now.
Yeah, like this is his show. I just work here. I go stand in the back. Don't sweat it, guys.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of you guys now, man. I really do.
No,
I love what y'all are doing.
No, hey man, thank you for reaching out, and this has been great so far.
Yeah, man. Hopefully next time we could actually just have a conversation at Top 42 talking some shit.
Yeah, man.
Sure, sign me up. I'll be more than happy to do that.
Yeah, man, I still drink, so we'll see.
Yeah. Hey,
It's all good. It's nothing.
you
I have
gotta,
nothing against people who drink. It's just me personally. Like,
no.
No, hey, for sure.
I have a drink. Next thing you know, I'm in handcuffs, and they're picking me up
Yeah.
in a doghouse, butt naked. I don't know where I was. So
How it happened.
every time that happens, I don't think that's good for me, man.
Right? Yeah, that definitely
So,
cannot be good. I'm on the same boat with you, brother. We'll drink some
yeah,
waters.
and by the way, relapse, like I don't know if you've gone to the rooms, but relapse is a part of recovery. You know, I was clean for a year and a half, and then I said, I got curious. I like mushrooms, so let me just. That's not. Is it really? So the whole questioning part is part of the
Right.
disease and shit, you know. But it's a part of it, man. And the journey continues, and you just keep going, you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And what a journey
So
it's been for you, man. Thank you for sharing with us, man.
Yeah,
That's
no.
awesome.
absolutely,
Thank
bro.
you
We
for
appreciate it.
no, thank you for sharing with us.
Yo,
I don't know if you do that often, but we're definitely thankful for you to share that story with us.
yeah, I don't
I
do it. I don't do it often because I mean I think it's like it's there's a very big stigma behind mental health and a lot of people don't understand it. So I think, you know, going into it, I was like, is it, you know, who am I spreading my legs to in this interview, man? So I'm like, no, man, you know what? I like what these guys, I like your energy, and I like the wavelength that we're all in. So I think we can all coexist here, and you can appreciate everything that I'm saying, just like I appreciate what y'all have been doing, you know?
no, bro, we yeah, shit, that's better than whatever I'm gonna say. Yeah,
If
absolutely.
you want a job? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, bro, fuck it, I'm out.
We'll give you your own podcast, bro.
That's it,
Shit.
bro. That's
No,
it.
man.
We'll throw an M somewhere in the KNR
Somewhere.
acronym.
Yeah.
You know what?
Michael, yeah. My name starts with the K. It's just silent.
You know what I'm saying?
KNR plus M.
Yeah.
KNR TM.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Well, man, I'm pretty happy what we got, man. I want to get you back on the show soon. We got some big plans for season 2 that we'd love to incorporate you into when the time comes. But I think that this has been a great show, and I want
Yeah.
people to really watch what we're talking about. I mean, granted, for sure, Melanie's gonna watch this, and Kevin Connors.
Yeah,
those
real
are for
quick,
sure.
First.
plug. I'm like every time every little thing that she would say, I'd be like, okay, now I see why. Now I see why she got one.
Dude, us too. And imagine where they're like,
Bro, yeah, no, third eye was in full
where
effect.
they're
I'm like,
keep on talking.
yeah,
There's
man.
cursive coming out of your mouth.
Yeah, bro. I fell in lust with Melanie's thoughts. It was pretty
great.
incredible.
She's
So y'all
cool.
can
No,
expect
she's an incredible girl, for sure.
Yeah,
We
so-
definitely, yeah, man. Like we've been very fortunate with it, with like all the guests that we've been
Everyone,
getting so
even
far.
yourself, man.
Even
I will.
yourself.
You know, and what's cool about these interviews, especially with interviews where we both don't know the person that we're bringing on like this, it's such
That's
a
great.
surprise, man. You blew us out of the water.
Yeah, for sure.
We were like, all right, I guess we're gonna just find out about this guy,
Yeah.
and you literally just like lit a fire under us. You know, that's
Yeah.
awesome. So we thank you.
Yeah, man.
I think this interview came
No,
out great. I
I-
cannot wait to go listen to this
appreciate it.
all over again. I want to keep the server. Bradley,
Shout out to
fucking
Bradley
Shout
at
out
Top
to
42,
Bradley.
Doral City
Go
Place.
visit
Shout
that
out
guy.
to- real quick,
25%
shout out to
tip
Bradley.
minimum.
Hey, if you're not gonna
Minimum,
take care of Bradley, don't go.
Yeah, exactly.
No, for
But
sure.
yeah, man. So what else?
Okay.
I wanted to say something else before we finish.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
drop it,
any
drop,
last-
bro.
any last,
Absolutely,
uh,
say it.
I want to know more about you guys, man. About your
Oh.
story and where you guys come from.
Okay, cool. So no one's kind of asked what's that.
Go for
All
it.
right, so absolutely. So, well, I'm born and raised in Miami. I'm raised primarily by my mom. My dad passed away when I was 2, unfortunately. That's life. And so I was raised by my mom's family. And my mom was great, bro. My mom, obviously, you know, my mom had me at very young, in her early 20s. So then imagine, she was widowed at like her mid 20s. So, you know, it was rough, but she taught me the necessities of life for sure. And then, yeah, I was a rough teenager. I doing a bunch of wacky shit I shouldn't be doing, like skipping school and just, you know, doing shit. At that point, I was raised by my grandmother at that point in my life. And she dealt with a lot, man. She dealt with a lot. And yeah, see, like I was drinking as a teenager and just doing a bunch of shit. I wasn't like trashed, like showing up home trashed at 15 years old. What the fuck was that all about? And then, yeah, and then that's where I had a few mental health issues of myself that I still deal with to this day, like anxiety and depression as well. But overall, I do a good job, I think, of finding purpose throughout my days, even if it's something small. Like, okay, today, my goal is to go to the beach because I want to go see what the fuck the water looks like. And then, cool, I feel fulfilled by filling those small goals that might seem irrelevant, but at least I feel like I'm completing something with my day.
And you help people too. You have little revelations throughout the day where you just want to go do something nice for somebody else. I think that's really cool about you.
Well, yeah. Thank you. I don't like to talk about those things just because I think we should. I think it should be a natural reaction. You see somebody having a shitty day, bro. Fuck it. What are you gonna lose by having a conversation for 5 minutes? Because we all have shitty days here, and sometimes look, you're my best friend. I love talking with you, but sometimes I'd rather talk to a stranger just because I'm not gonna. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to go back to that. If that makes sense.
No, I completely.
Yeah.
You get a different perspective from different people, which is nice to hear sometimes.
Absolutely. And then, yeah, bro. And then throughout my early 20s, I fucking partied my little heart out. I was literally just, gas, grass, or ass at that point. uh, yeah, that's where I was living my life. And then and then when I was 19, actually, I got a DUI. So that I dropped out of college from there. And then, yeah, that's where I spent the next like 3 years basically just living life on the edge, quote unquote, like a fucking pirate. I don't know
Like
why.
a fucking pirate.
Like a fucking pirate, literally just trying to hunt down the booty while drinking some rum. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, about last year, I want to say, early last year, I moved back home to help out my grandmother because she was struggling financially. And that was honestly probably the healthiest thing I ever did. And yeah, that's it. Just me and her at this point, and then overall, especially throughout the last few months, I needed the world to end to get my shit together because I was definitely not taking care of myself. I was in the rat race every day. I gotta go make this just to have enough to do this, but I don't have enough for the day after that. And then, I want to go out with this girl. Fuck it, I don't care. And shit, like sometimes, bro, I still get lost in that sauce. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But overall, I'm definitely done a good job of prioritizing myself. Okay, that's where I'm at. I definitely am the center of my universe right now.
Beautiful. That's how it needs to be.
Yeah, and I guess that's my story in a quick little 5-minute synopsis.
Jonathan, shit. All right, let's do this. Where do we begin? I'm gonna take you. Born and raised in Miami. Was a very quiet kid throughout all middle and high school. I really got into football and music, and then through music I got into DJing. Once I got into DJing, that's when I guess my episode really started, where I became a godlike figure in my life. I felt like I was the most powerful human being on this planet because, granted, in high school I wasn't the most popular guy. Once I got out of high school and I started DJing, I was DJing every single party here in Miami. I was DJing at 21 plus clubs in South Beach, like Mansion and shit. Like I thought I went into it for music and for everything, and I ended up just becoming everything that I told myself I wasn't going to be. I started getting consumed by drugs. Being on South Beach at 18 completely changed my perspective on life, bro. I started seeing people getting mugged, crackheads going through their episodes, relapsing, like all this crazy shit. And the club that I was DJing at didn't help out either. To the point where I actually got arrested because I was involved in a missing girl case, and it ended up not being anything to do with me. But imagine at 18 years old, this is where you're getting exposed to. And that lasted for almost 3 years. 3 years of a destructive tornado where I didn't realize till maybe a couple months ago what exactly I was doing, which was just hurting a shit ton of people, hurting my family, not going to school, telling them I was going to school, impulsively lying every time that I could just to make myself feel better. Like I literally had that godlike episode that you spoke about, which gives me fucking chills because I look back to that person and I look back to what I did and who I screwed over. It's revolting, man. So, at 21, I got a DUI, which put me back to earth. I had recently just got signed to a music label, which is my goal. And at this point, I started spiraling down because when I got signed to a music label, it was me and other musicians. Mm-hmm. So by me getting a DUI and by me doing drugs with another musician in the group, he had an ego death, changed the way that he lived life forever. We had a falling out. The guy that signed us realized what happened, realized about my DUI because I couldn't control my partying. And I had signs leading up to that DUI that I should not be doing the things that I was doing. Like I had signs of me getting home. I'm in the passenger seat. My shoes are off and I have no idea how I got there. Like, and I had just gotten a brand new fucking car too, you know. So when I got that DUI, it really put me in perspective, and it really fucked me up because other people that got signed to this music label that had that same dream that I had just got it ripped away from them because this guy didn't know how to control his drinking, because this guy didn't know how to be a good fucking person, you know. So that happened, bro, and I spiraled left and right. I said that I was in recovery, and then a couple years later, I got hit with another DUI on the last month of my probation to get off of my initial DUI that put me on house arrest. And now, I mean, I guess between us three and anybody that's listening, I'm off house arrest in 2 weeks. We've been doing this all from here because of me, you know, and I've had this time to reflect. We made jokes about it before that that the world got put on house arrest too. So I kind of had like a, what would you say, like a practice round of what quarantine would really be like right before this shit really started popping off.
You had spring training.
I had spring training,
Spring
you know,
training.
so, yeah.
At least somebody did, right?
So,
Somebody
you know,
did.
after all that craziness that I just mentioned, bro, which I really don't talk about, especially on air like this, but granted, you
Thanks for
opened yourself
sharing,
up. You opened
thank you
yourself
for
up, and it's definitely made me feel better just talking about it. But I'm at a point in my life where I've made amends with everybody that I've hurt, you know, even if they didn't accept it. But I went out of my way to let you know, like, hey, I'm very sorry for what I did 4 years ago. You know, people that I still think about to this day, people that I really wish I could still be friends with. That, granted, I understand why you're not my friend because that was a monster.
Yeah.
But I killed the person that I was in order to become the person that I was born to be, and I have not looked back on it. And it's been one of the greatest.
It's been a fucking ride.
It's been one of the greatest journeys, and I can't wait to talk about it and on like a bigger scale, to reach out to people that are going through substance abuse and just, you know, because I can't say that I had a really crazy rough childhood that led me to this. No, man, like I had for the most part everything I ever wanted. You know, and I learned that everything that I needed to achieve needed to be worked for. I went about it a really shitty way, and I got caught up in a bunch of shit. So, you know, and it goes to what you're saying. I just want to help out one person, bro. If I could just help out one person, bro, that's all I want. That's all I care about. That there's still, you could be in the shittiest place in the world, but there's still hope. In all darkness, there's light. There's a balance. Yep. One cannot live without the other.
You know, like, look, if these two jackasses can make something happen, I'm sure a lot of people could.
I mean, I think at this point, if us three jackasses can make something happen.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right
yeah,
here,
man. Like, yeah, bro. Like, like a question that I get asked a lot, I'm sure Jonathan does too, is like, what do you think makes your podcast stand out? Like, what do you think is so special about your podcast? I don't know if people mean it in a derogatory term or just a question, whatever. I don't take it personal, but it does make you think. What does stand out? I think that Jonathan and I are pretty interesting characters, but I don't think that we're the reason. I think our message, what we're trying to do, is the reason. You know, look, like we're wild, but we're not bad intentioned people. We're here with good intentions, and sure, it might not sound wholesome because we say some crazy shit,
and we've done crazy shit,
but I think because of all those experiences, we could appreciate the wholesomeness and the good intentions to it. We don't have to fuck anybody over. We already know what it feels like to hurt people.
Yeah, people don't change; they grow, man.
You know, like
I'm a firm believer that you can't change. Like, I can't change me, but I could grow and I could learn and I could become better. Yeah. I could evolve. I believe in evolution. I don't believe that I could change.
You are who you are.
How can you just change who you are like that? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think that there's a quote that goes that the only thing constant in life is change. Yeah. And if we're changing, and the whole point, the purpose should be to change for the better, you know, because every single day we're changing. You know, after this interview, I'm a changed person because of the knowledge that I've acquired from you guys, and just the conversation that we've all had. What I learned from you, what I've learned from your other interviews, you know, that knowledge is what knowledge, right? Is what helps you grow. You know a little bit more, and you have a little bit more insight as you and you use those tools to keep putting it all out there, so that one person can say, wow, I can see things differently now, you know. And that's what I think should be the message. You know, like you said, even if it's one person, you know, when this podcast goes to be as big as it is, as big as it will be, you know, that's when you'll be able to do a lot more things for the world. You know, so that's what I think we're here for. You know, your planet, and my planet. We all want to coexist to do the right thing, right?
That's literally it. That's
Amen, brother.
And then we both got fired, right? And then we just give him a show.
You can have it
here. Just take it.
I'm good with cameos, man.
Yeah, man. But yeah, no, for sure. The perspectives is definitely it. Like, yeah. Yeah, that's really what brought us here. We just want to hear from a bunch of cool people who have different perspectives, and then whoever's watching, somebody will pick something up from this.
Yep.
And that's it. Just
I
and then,
really like how you guys, how you're willing to interview, local, the average, the average person, in Miami, because I think we all relate, because we were all bred in this melting pot. I think it's different,
Yeah.
because people that are not from Miami, they have a perception of Miami as, this beautiful fantasy world where it's like, good looks and suns and beaches and everything. But if we can bring out the other side of the world of the people that actually live here, the struggles that we go through here, and because we're here, and we don't realize it, but we're here. Everything that we do, we work for the people that come in and they dump all this money from other countries and other stuff to make this place beautiful. But there isn't Miami isn't as superficial as people think it is. This is the part that's real and it's raw. And the fact that you're able to interview people that are from Miami and grew up in Miami, and they can see a different perspective of what Miami really is and who we are as people,
Yeah.
which is great. I think it's
And
great.
And absolutely, and I'm also a firm believer that everybody has a story to tell, and it's even more relatable when that story is from Miami.
yeah, and
Yeah.
look, this doesn't work out with people like you who watch our show and support our show. We're like, not to sound all super rocky or whatever, but this all started for the little guy.
Yeah,
For lack of a better term, this all started because we would watch the news and we'll be like, that's not fucking accurate.
everybody roots for the underdog, man.
And that's it, bro. And then honestly, yeah, bro, this 2 DUIs, a fucking DUI, and I fucking want to marry everybody I meet and shit. Come on, like we literally had nothing going on. We didn't have
Exactly,
shit
bro.
going on.
And now we have a little sense of purpose. We get to talk to amazing people like yourself, man. And once again, thank you so much for coming onto the show, and thank you for being as prepared as you were to come onto
Yeah,
the show.
no, thank you so much. You super fucked us up with that.
My pleasure,
Partici-
man. My pleasure.
You definitely get more than just a participation trophy today.
Oh,
Sure.
bro, we're gonna send you something for sure.
No,
Send me
yeah.
one of those Funko Pops, bro. I'll take me one of those. I'll take one.
You
of
want
those.
one?
For sure.
Bro, you want one?
Done.
Done.
They're not even mine.
That's all I
Done.
want. But
No, they're mine, but done for sure. We'll set this up for sure.
Yeah, man. Let's leave it on a positive note, man. It's been a pleasure, Micheal Torres.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for talking with us. Thank you for reaching out.
And-
Let everybody know where they could find you.
You can find me on Instagram if you want. That's the best tool right now that we have. I think it's underscore MLLCHAEL. That's the way that I spell my name on Instagram. The two little L's is my Gemini sign. I don't know. I think I'm creative. I think I know how to do some shit, but I don't. But whatever. But it's underscore MLLCHAEL. That's my Instagram. You can follow me there. I have I post random things there every now and then. And that's it, bro. If anybody has any questions, feel free to send me a message. I'll be more than happy. I'm a pretty open book, and I'll be more than happy to help anyone that needs it.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
Right.
Micheal Torres.
We
This
will be in
is
contact soon. Knowledge
Nonsense.
and reasoning.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, knowledge. What is it? Knowledge, nonsense, reasoning, and Melanie.
And Melanie.
And
And Michael.
And Michael.
and everyone.
and Kevin Connor.
Kevin Connors.
And J-Mo,
No, say, hey, everybody.
DJ Lou.
Thank you so much. We love you, brother.
Later, Michael.
Thank you,
Take care.
man.
Be safe. We will be
Yes,
in
sir.
contact to get you that Funko.
Yes, sir. I love you, bro. Thank you, guys.
And cut.
Love you
That's
guys.
it, brother. Now we could talk like normal human beings.
Oh my god.
That was great, man.
Holy
Oh,
shit. That was wild.
that wasn't normal.
That was a great fucking show.
Oh
Hey,
shit.
I had a
thank
great
you, bro.
time.
I had a great time too, man.
Bro,
You gotta enjoy
yeah.
this.
Dude, absolutely, bro. So yeah, I'll text you tomorrow, bro. I'll get you that Funko.
Yeah, and I'll start editing
Sounds
this
good.
pretty soon, bro. Granted that this specific episode will probably come out later this month because we have
like in a month probably.
like in 4 weeks. We have a lot of
Yeah.
shit that we want to throw out. Yeah, but
Yeah, man.
granted, it's
It's,
going out, and we're looking forward to hearing what people have to say about it, man. I mean, I'm very excited about this episode.
Yeah, no, we think it was incredible.
You have my number, man. Whenever you want
Yeah.
to reach out, feel free to
Yeah,
reach
I'll-
out.
Oh, for sure.
I'll write it down. I'll write it down too, and
Yeah, I'll give it to
Yeah.
Jenna.
I'll send it over. I definitely want your number in my contact list.
Yeah, bro, you're
Okay.
you're a fucking cool ass dude.
All right, my
Appreciate it,
friend.
man.
Thank you
Thank
so
you. We'll go
much.
see you.
Later. Take care, Michael. Be safe, all right?
All right, man. Thank you, guys. Take care.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
1, 2, 3, let's get it.
That's a little